Hey, good afternoon. This is Bob, Trade Genius. It's actually morning. It's weekend though. But hey, I wanted to show you something. I'm going to take a little bit different tack here for the weekend. I think Europe's in big trouble. The This whole thing with Italy now is really starting to blow up. The ECB is they saturated with the bond buying and they have to stop. And look at this. I mean, this is a 10% move down in a currency in what, 6 weeks? Absolutely incredible. And I can't even imagine. You had the price of oil going up 17%. You have the price of your currency going down 10%. I mean, 25% increase in your energy costs, and then natural gas is going up. Europe's in big trouble, and it's just going to get worse. I think it's going to blow up. You always wonder when you read the scriptures and they talk about Europe, the old Holy Roman Empire being half iron and half clay. And a lot of people said, is that because of secular Europe and now Islamic Europe, or it looks like economically too. You got the iron of the Northern Europeans that like harder currency, and you have the clay of Southern Europe that they don't care. They just mañana and spend. And so, very, very interesting here. And I think we're going to have a disorderly drop now, because here's a gap here, right here where I'm spinning the cursor. And I bet you we go down and we catch that now, because we just broke this support level right here. Well, we're right at it. So if this doesn't hold here at 111, I think it's just going to go, especially if we raise interest rates again with the Fed in June. It's just going to keep putting more and more pressure on these other currencies, and it's not good news. And if you look at that, and then you look at the risk-off currencies, which is FXY. Okay, so the Japanese, no accident that the Japanese yen is turning up. Okay, this is a risk-off move. And then you look at the Swiss franc. Okay, it's turning up. And then, I think the people in England, are going to be excited about Brexit here pretty soon, because I don't think they want to be associated with a currency union that the continent is going to be a lot more competitive than they are, and it's going to get worse for them. But look, that's Europe. I'm sorry. Here we go. They're struggling too. So, they're all being dragged down together, and I would imagine that can't make the British happy either. At some point, when you devalue your currency, if you're not energy independent or food independent, you're absolutely asking yourself for total destruction. And that's what we're seeing. And then if you look at, let's see if I can remember let me do it this way. This is the Italian index fund, and you got the EWI. Look at it breaking down here now too. So there's some areas here to short, even though our stock market, I hate to say it, but I think it's going to bounce off this VWAP line right here. Let me zoom in. Okay, this is moving volume weighted average price for this is the last 100 days, and also ties in with the last 100 hours too. This is support. This is more of a support than a moving average, because this is where the most volume has transacted here on average over the last 100 days. And it's hard to penetrate and hold, but if it does, then you tend to then push down, and then before you snap back, like you had here, it broke down, and this right here, this is 2% away. I mean 3% away from the moving average. So when you go, you start stretching it either side, but we've been holding up above it, and so it's telling me that the market is still trying to go up higher, doesn't want to go lower. And even on the hourly, the same. And I think what's holding it up is money's moving in, because our dollar strengthening, our bond yields are attractive. our economy is growing faster, and this is the one-eyed monster in the land of the blind here. And and if you guys ever read Exter, he has an inverted pyramid, and at the bottom of that pyramid, as money flows out of risk assets into less risk assets, they roll into treasuries. When they start rolling out of treasuries, what just happened here in the last 6 months, the dollar strengthens, and then when the dollar goes, you go to gold because there's no counterparty to gold. And the reason why cryptocurrencies have gained favor in the last year is that people are looking at it as a secondary alternative with no counterparty as well. And the thing about it too is the portability of cryptos. So that's why we're excited about cryptos and precious metals here at Trade Genius, because look, money's going to flow out of the banking system, and money's going to flow out of what I would call financialization into harder assets. And so I want to be positioned in both of those. In the meantime, though, U.S. stocks are going to move higher with the dollar here for a while because money's coming in, until the yield on the stock market is not as attractive as the bond market, or people are worried about the ability for them to continue to grow their cash flows. And if they can't, then you're going to see money just dump into gold and dump into cryptos. And then a lot of people are saying, well, cryptos haven't done anything. I said, well, depending on where you live. If you live in Turkey, or you live in Iran, or you live in Venezuela, you live in Europe, okay, you live in England, your Bitcoin has gone up 10 to 15% here in the last month, okay? When people are in the stock market, they get 10, 11% a year. They're excited on average. Well, you just got it in a month. And so, it absolutely is a vaccination against fiat. And so you need to have some in your portfolio, and you need to be able to learn how to trade it. And so that, and you also want to have, you want to have some physical gold and silver, of course, but you want to be able to trade the silver and gold miners and the other commodity miners too. Let's not forget, China uses the industrial metals as collateral for loans. Look, they hold their precious metals. Gold and silver will never leave that country, okay? But they'll hoard copper and rare earths and other things to use as collateral. And so that's why you'll see those moving up and down too. But it's coming. We're one step down that pyramid now, and it's going to get real. And if these knuckleheads in Congress keep trying to press this Russian thing to destroy a sitting president, I don't know if they really understand the economic chaos that they'll cause. And it's going to cause a big problem. So, but anyway, I'll put out some other stuff a little bit later, but I just thought I'd share that with you. This is a problem, and I don't think they can solve it. Italy and Spain and Greece, they're like, you know what, we're done. You're choking us to death. We're not going to pay back our loans, and we're going to devalue our currencies, or we're going to start doing shadow currencies, and that's what cryptos are all set up for. So anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, and I'll be back a little bit later with some more vids. Bye.